everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fund Hub Radio. Today, we are joined by the PTO president at Warren Elementary. This is Beth. Welcome, Beth. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. We're really excited to hear how Warren Elementary has had success with Get Movin' and Fund Hub, our donation platform. So I just want to get started here and learn a little bit about, I should have said also first, you guys are right outside St. Louis, Missouri. That is where Warren Elementary is located. I believe the city's called Cottleville. Is that correct?
Correct.
Cool. Awesome. So I just want to provide a little context for our listeners and viewers. So tell us a little bit about Warren Elementary, like the enrollment size and, if there's anything unique about Warren Elementary, just tell us a little bit about it.
Warren has about 700 students. We got from diverse backgrounds, and we have an amazing staff. Our principal, Megan Beckham, is outstanding, and she has created an environment where students actually want to come to school. They want to learn. It's just it's an amazing school.
That's awesome. That's really, really important to have, especially in when it's contributed to like fundraising and like having a community at the school. So that's really great to hear. It sounds like you guys have a really awesome elementary over there. So, next, I just want to hear, so you're the PTO president, but I think you're also the Fun Run chair. Is that right?
I am, yes. This year, we didn't have someone step up to be able to lead the Fun Run. So I did it. It was very hard to balance, trying to run the entire, all the little bits and pieces we have going on, and being in charge of the largest fundraiser. But right. I have the coolest people that I work with. This is my volunteer gig. I am so lucky to be able to do this. I have an amazing husband. My kids are outstanding, and just the community we live in.
Yeah.
We're not from here, but we have awesome neighbors and friends that really help me, so that I can go and help at the school and help raise money. But
that's awesome.
My board I have an outstanding board. I have Melanie Wise, who's our treasurer, and I have Lauren Navat, who is our vice president, and then our secretary is Jennifer Vineyard. And we all work together just as such a great cohesive team so that we could make this Fun Run successful. Yeah. And we have other people that are part of doing different facets of the Fun Run. So it's not all me. Yes. Is it as stressful as being the chair? Yes, but honestly, everybody does what they do, and it's just so awesome.
Yeah, we always like to say, planning a Fun Run or an event-style fundraiser, it's not rocket science, but having a good team is really important and can definitely make things a lot easier, delegating, like you said, you're not the only one that does it, but you're the leader. So being able to have those people that you can lead makes things a lot easier. So that's really great to hear.
For me, it was hard doing both things, but I know going forward, if I can just work on not wanting it to be perfect, or people do things,
right?
But that's definitely just me. I'm used to being mom and running the show.
Right, exactly. And, we'll get into a little bit about the success that you guys had, because you guys had major, major success at your Fun Run. But, it's not always going to be perfect. You're just trying to raise some money so that way, you guys can provide more for your school. So, that's okay. It's not always going to go off exactly how you want it to go. But, as long as you're putting in the effort, that's what's going to make the impact on the school and the kids. So
100%.
Yeah,
and
we always appreciate
the kids.
Yes, of course. Yes. So you guys, I think that you explained to us, we talked a little bit before this, but you aren't necessarily 100% sure how Warren fundraised prior to the Fun Run. Is that right?
Correct. I believe they used a company, but I don't know.
But you guys have always done the event style Fun Run.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And it has worked for us in the past. There are lots of challenges when it comes to having an event style, being able to coordinate, getting parents to be able to come and watch, or doing it during PE. Unfortunately, this year we had rain. So we couldn't conduct our fun run on the exact day that we had planned. So
Right.
having such a flexible school that, is able to mitigate challenges that came up,
Yeah.
it works. And the parents are understanding.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear about that. So what would you say, I know you mentioned like maybe some, obviously rain out of your control, like nothing you
Yeah.
can really do about that, but what like other challenges did you maybe face when going into the fundraiser?
It's really trying to find somebody to chair it up. I mean,
Yeah.
just the brainstorming, we work really hard. Our school has like a whole theme for the year. So we try to, bridge that and stay with the theme of the school this year.
Yeah.
The students voted last year for this year to be a safari theme. So
Oh,
everything we do for the entire school, like that the school does and we do it, we try to keep it themed based off of safari. So it was a wide event. And so it just, it worked.
I love that.
But I mean, coming up with that kind of stuff is just not my to do, but our students
Right.
picked the theme the year before, and we're a Leader in Me school as well. So we also put things in to try to motivate our students,
Right.
just for registering and for our families. They get a keychain. It's a very simple, inexpensive prize.
Yeah.
But a student can go home and say, I have participated. And then the parents being able to email and text quickly just to ask for donations. And I know I already have wrapping paper that I like. I don't need more wrapping paper.
Right.
I mean, sometimes I do, but I'll get that at, Costco or somewhere.
Right,
but if
exactly.
somebody's selling it, I'll buy it.
Yeah. And like, so there's just so much overhead in a product-based fundraiser.
Yeah.
When you have the event style, at least people are just they just want to donate to the cause. Like they don't, like you said, like you already have wrapping paper. Like you don't need to buy wrapping paper, a chocolate bar. Like you're like, I just would rather give my $20. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah,
and
I hear that.
I'm a sucker for a cinnamon roll or whatever once in a while, or
Right, exactly.
sign in and donate. But I know
You can only do that so much.
You can only
Right.
do that so much.
Yeah. And I really, really liked how you guys you said that you do that theme like throughout everything in the school that whole year.
Correct.
That's really,
So
really cool.
Everything's
That's unique. I like that.
I think we have like a little guide we send parents so they know
Yeah.
what to expect with the fun run. And we change things around a little bit and we give some incentives. And we change some words or whatever, but
Yeah.
throughout the whole year, there'll be something wild, or
Yeah.
like we do teacher appreciation this year. We'll even try to keep it wild theme.
Yeah.
Right now at Christmas, Mrs. Claus went on a safari and used some of the fund raised to provide the teachers some drinks, some, caffeine and a snack, and
Yeah.
additional school supplies to get them through, the next few days and months.
Absolutely. That's cool too, that like you let them kind of vote on the theme too, because if it's something you're going to carry over through the whole year, you want them to be excited about it. So that's really cool, like including them in that too, because sometimes they're just like, all right, this is the theme. So that's cool that you guys do that. I like that a lot. So tell us a little bit about your fundraising event that you used with Fund Hub with. And I know you mentioned like, you had some prizes and stuff like that, but tell us about like the actual event and how you get the kids excited. Maybe it's those keychains, but maybe you guys are like promoting it in a certain way. Maybe something that, another parent volunteer listening might be able to take away from how you guys did your fundraising event.
We kick ours off. We send a guide home on a Friday.
Okay.
And we kick off. I mean, they can get online and register at that point. And we keep our registration open for approximately 2 weeks. And we do a spirit week. And I believe in the guide. I'm so sorry because I have a team of people that just helped with it.
Oh, you're good.
Like wear your safari hat day. What are some of the other? I don't even remember.
Yeah, so like Spirit Week to like promote to coincide with the fundraiser. Yeah, that's really cool.
That's usually the week of the actual event. The first week, it's getting stuff out there, and as we start raising money, our teachers will do like a little incentive. We had a whoopee cushion concert, and we record it, and the kids get to see it. And we try to put them on Facebook so that the so parents can see them, but sometimes they get, taken down because it's too long. I don't understand technology. So
Yeah.
somebody puts it up there and then it gets taken down, but it's fun.
Yeah, that's cool. I love it. And then you guys just do like a typical fun run, like where they just run, for a set amount of time
It's a
to
certain
celebrate the
amount of
funds
time,
raised.
Yep. And the school also makes it part of the Leader in Me Day. They do a service project that we tie into our Veterans Day.
Okay. Oh, that's
The
really
service
cool.
project is usually something that is for Veterans Day, if it's making decorations or talking about Veterans Day. And then since we're a Leader in Me school, and we're also have a house system, the houses will compete and they do everything that day as a house to build that community.
Okay, yeah. Will you tell me, I know that this house thing is kind of like a trend. I feel like I've seen it like move slowly across the country in elementary schools. Will you like educate me a little bit on what like the houses are?
Sure. So our houses, I'm not good with their names, but it just builds another community within the school. And so when you come to the school as a student or teacher, staff, they have a sorting just like a Harry Potter, and it just builds a community. And you're in that smaller community of many grades, kindergarten to fifth. So when you come in as a kindergartner, you are always in that same house, and it just builds another community.
Absolutely. That's really, really, really cool. I just have been hearing about that within like the last year or so. And I think that's a really cool way for schools just to be able, you have your community in your classroom, you have your community in your grade, but like to be able to provide a little bit of a separate, like, hey, like these are your guys. Like if you need anything, like this is your little group of students that can kind of like, help you if you need anything. That's really awesome. I love that.
This year, our principal has decided, it'd be awesome just as a PTO, we're there a lot. And so we're also members of a house as well. So when I go in, the students know, oh, she's part of a house.
Right.
But I don't see her here all the time, but it builds that like, cohesive bond. And so it just makes it easier. When I go in, I'll be like, oh, I don't know who so-and-so. You're in my house. I know you, but I can't remember your name. Where do I go?
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That's a really interesting thing that I think maybe some other schools might like take away from this podcast. I think that was a really good, cool way that you guys do that. So do you remember what your goal was for the fundraiser?
I think it was about 60,000 is what we try to bring in through the Fun Hub. And then we try to only spend a little bit of money so that we can net to meet our budget. But this year, I believe it was $60,000.
Okay. And then do you remember how much you guys raised?
It was close to $72,000.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is
actually I just cried. I still cannot believe we did this. I just know like we all have financial struggles, it's
tough right now.
It's tough out there. And I just thought, okay, this is a really, really lofty goal, but we have an amazing school. We have amazing students. We have amazing parents, and we definitely have an awesome community. And even our school district, and then our local Cottleville community is just as amazing as well. We, for the first time, reached out and said, would you be interested in sponsoring? We had never done that in the past. So we were able to get a few sponsors to be able to do some creative and different things to just raise some money that, hey, I want to donate, but I want to help my, I don't know, somebody, do something, but I don't know how to do it. So here, you can use this money if you see fit to help the school. Yeah. And like, you guys didn't just like exceed your goal by a little bit. You guys like blew it out of the water. So that's like really awesome to hear. And it just goes to show you, like, even with those like business sponsors, like you might be like, oh, I don't want to ask because, they might not say yes. But like, if you just ask, the worst they can say is no. And it probably attributed to helping you guys like get over that goal or provide you with some materials that you could use for the fundraiser, whatever it is, anything helps. So that's another really good thing that I think some people could take away also. Yeah, we had 2 local dentists who were our sponsors for what we call the Weekend Challenge. Oh, and, tell me about that. so I don't remember the amount.
Yeah.
I kind of put it out there here if somebody wants to sponsor.
Yeah.
Well, they were able, if they wanted to give away anybody who raised a minimum of $5,
Uh-huh.
that they would be entered into a raffle. And so with their money, we were able to buy a TV. I don't know what size brand, you know, it was a couple.
Yeah, no, but yeah, like a sweet prize.
Yeah, a really awesome prize. So then the kids were able to ask for donations, you know, for the child. And then for every $5 that students brought in, they were entered into the raffle. And then we, at one of our PTO meetings, did a little video and picked the winner.
Yeah, that's really cool. I was just about to ask about prizes, so that's the perfect segue. I love that the raffle is super fun. It kind of creates that like sense of excitement for them because not only is somebody going to win the prize, but just being entered into a raffle like has a little bit of excitement with it too. And that's also really cool that you guys utilized the sponsors' money to pay for those prizes. So then you didn't have to go like, you know, use the money that you're raising on prizes. You know what I'm saying? So that's a really, or I guess the way to say it would maybe be like, it wasn't like an expense to you because you were sponsored that money. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really great.
Yeah. So as it relates to like Get Movin' and the kind of experience that you've had with Get Movin', what would you say is like your favorite part about Fund Hub or Get Movin' in general? Do you have something that you felt like really helped you guys with your fundraiser or anything that you have to say about that?
I mean, one of the things I just really like about the website, it's easy to use. I'm not the most computer literate person.
Yeah.
I just learned about ChatGPT this year. So I don't know about that kind of stuff because I've not been in the business world I've been retired for about 12 years.
Okay.
Or how old's my son? My oldest is 8. So I've been retired for about 7, 8 years.
Okay.
And I was able to figure it out.
Right. Intuitive a little bit.
Right. It was very user friendly.
Cool.
But if I had a question at all, I had Liz to fall back on to say,
Yes.
hey, Liz, you know, could you, a parent is asking a question. I don't know the answer. That is not my expertise.
Yeah.
And after I spend a couple minutes on the website, if I can't figure it out, hey, Liz, you know, I don't know what to do.
That's awesome. I love that you mentioned Liz. We love our personal event coaches here. We do think that that's something that like a lot of our chair people value is just being able to have that single point of contact that, like you said, if you have any questions, they're there to help you. Another really cool thing about our personal event coaches is that they were all like PTA moms at some point or PTA parents at some point. So, or PTA parent group.
Right.
So they kind of like have that experience. They know what you're going through and that, you know, you are a volunteer, which I think is important to stress. Like, you know, this is not your full-time job.
Right.
I mean, it may be, but you're also a mom. Like you've got a million things going on. So you're not, you can't always spend 100% of your time on the fundraiser. So I think that's really something that we like to, you know, let people know about is that these people were in your shoes at one point and they just felt passionate enough about our product that they wanted to start selling it. So I love that you mentioned her. That's awesome. So we're getting towards the end here. Did you want to mention
something else with the website that I think that's really great is, you know, there's financial records there so that we can provide them if anybody should need anything. We have an aging treasurer, but once again, she is a volunteer,
right?
And she is awesome at her craft. I'm not a treasurer
me either
at all. And I do my best with our home stuff. I got that. But this is a lot of moving parts and pieces. There needs to be receipts. Getting a receipt to be able to send, you know, with a couple clicks of the button. It's really kind of nice.
Great. I'm glad that you mentioned that too, because like with all of the, even if you're a treasurer and even if this is something that you'd like do for a living, with all of like the compliance and like, you know, making sure that like if you're receiving money and you're like tax exempt, there's just so many different things that like they have to keep in line for the school and for the parent group. So you're right. Like being able to have those reports is just, you know, the click of a button, it can be downloaded like, and you know, you don't have to be running like Excel sheets and all that kind of stuff. So that's really a good highlight as well. So we're on the final question. We've made it through the end of the interview. So I just wanted to see here if you had any like final thoughts, last things that you wanted to say, maybe a piece of advice you'd want to give to a parent group member, a president, PTO president, to end us off with, Beth.
Oh gosh, I don't even know that there's so much, but
You're like, just keep your head on straight.
Yeah, trying to keep my head on. I'm kind of crazy today.
Yeah.
But first of all, it's having a good team behind you.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have done this if I didn't have an amazing board and
Absolutely.
an amazing school and an amazing principal and vice principal and the teachers and staff at the school. So with that being said, then the website is very easy to use, and communicating with you guys and keeping that communication open. It's very nice. I mean, I wish we could always have more money, that we could save more and more and more money. But unfortunately, you do have to spend just a little, but it's great so that we can give back to our school. And as a parent, I want to be able to give back to my school as much as I can. I can't do all of the financing of it, but I can help try to raise some money, but I can also thank the teachers and bridge that gap.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like our number one goal. Like, you know, we always want to try to make it so schools are raising the most money possible while still being able to keep our business running. So on that note, Beth, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I also want to like thank you on behalf of Warren Elementary. I know I've never been there before, but I can tell that you are an amazing asset that they have at Warren Elementary. Like, you know, there's so many crazy things going on. Like, we're recording this like right before the holidays. So I just want to thank you for being here today and taking a little bit of time to, you know, boast about Warren Elementary and how much money you guys were able to raise. So thank you for being here today. And with that, I will see you guys next time on the next episode of Fun Hub Radio.